The weekend is such a blessing one. Come over, guys. We need to have a conversation. Okay, Nelson Chamisa. He is a military strategist. That is Zimbabwe. And we also want to look at, Zanu PF is a hardliner, strong in support of Zanu PF. He says it's time for us to confront Mnangagwa so that he does not even test 2030 or either the third term. Come through, guys. We need to have a conversation very quickly. Okay, before we get into the details, if it's your first time to come across this channel, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and make sure that you ring the bell so that every time I'm live, you'll be notified immediately. So please come over, guys. We need to have some talk. Okay, so to my regulars, I want to send you some love and a shout out and say happy weekend. Also, guys, don't forget to like the live so that we invite everyone to the conversation. This season, we communicate, right? It's time for us to really have authentic conversations. The time of fighting is gone. Bro, my good to see you, Esther. Shout out. Good to see you guys for coming through. Don't forget to like the live, like I said earlier on. Please, good to see you. Joyce, good to see you. Oh my gosh, Ambassador of Peace, shout out to you, man. What's up, Alfred? It's good to see you. George, today we are having a conversation. All right. Okay, so moving on. Alinaka, he's a mouthful, right? He's a mouthful, but he was also on the behind the reign of President Emmerson Mnangagwa in 2017. Apparently, he said the propagandists talk about the Zimbabwe education system. What they don't tell you is that it was sustained and built on the foundation of the missionary education system. The missionaries in Zimbabwe invested in education and healthcare more than what Zanu PF has done in 44 years. Zanu PF was a scam since liberation struggle days. That is actually Ali Naka who says so. Zanu PF was and still is a scam to Zimbabweans. All right. Do you guys know that they spent almost 40 million? Get this right. Zanu PF spent, or the government spent 40 million importing spaghetti. Spaghetti, right? I don't know what kind of spaghetti is that can cost that much, right? 40 million US dollars importing spaghetti. Okay. And for them, I am responding to them and say, I appreciate the gist of an argument. However, before they concerned about spaghetti, Zimbabweans are concerned about 49% extreme poverty, 1.8 billion lost to looting annually, 55% failure rate at grade 7, half of a population food insecure, 71% failure rate O level, over 3 million forced to migrate to different countries, guard-digit hyperinflation, rulers in 44 years, only 2 rulers, that was Mugabe and Mnangagwa. No soccer stadium in Zimbabwe, so we have to play our soccer in different countries. In fact, the Warriors in Zimbabwe are going to play with the team here, and they have to meet in Limpopo and they what they're supposed to host, but because we don't have a ground, they have to play in South Africa. That's how bad it is. They can't. I don't know the minister of sports. That is what was the swimmer? I don't know what she's doing. Honestly, what is she doing? And we also have 89% unemployment. I said 89% people unemployed in Zimbabwe. 100 million gold smuggling monthly. 100 million gold smuggling monthly. And Zim is at 153.165 on Human Rights Index, human rights abuse. This is how bad it is. And these are the daily struggles that seriously rub Zimbabweans the wrong way. Being able to worry about spaghetti is something most very real Zimbabweans don't have the luxury of worrying about. Right? Very interesting. The Zimbabwe that we're in right now. It's really bad. It's bad. And then Ali Naka went on to say, Emmerson has never won any position within Zanu PF on a free and fair election. Why would someone like that go into a free and fair election at a broader scale, which is looking at the Zimbabwean context and context as a president? Do you think he will be fair? He knows that he has never won an election and he can never win an election. So how can he? Right, and people still remind me about yesterday that can we call Chamisa a jaguar? It's not a cheetah but a jaguar. I apologize. So a jaguar that went into the river and pulled the crocodile. So we're gonna start calling him a jaguar now. All right. Do you guys know that South Africans, diaspora vote happened today? Diaspora vote. We saw different countries, people were lining, especially the UK, the queues were very long, people voting. Now I begin to ask myself questions. Why is this South Africa so reluctant to help Zimbabweans, considering that they see mass exodus of our people into this country? Different countries, and they know our challenges, human rights abuse, poverty, but they still do nothing. Don't also forget that almost 70%, according to Tendai percent of our gold is being refined in South Africa. Talk about lithium. So because they're benefiting, they're quiet. But here's the thing. If ANC loses this year, that's where the freedom of Zimbabwe lies. Because other political parties cannot stand Zanu PF. And they're going to hold on, definitely going to confront Zanu PF. We're praying that ANC don't make it. That's my prayer. But people were voting diaspora vote. And as we could not get diaspora vote for whatever reason, but they want to sell passports to us, all right, the diaspora. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Now we're moving into this. Chamisa is a military strategist. Guys, let me just make this clear if I drink some water. There's been a lot of talks around Chamisa's spirituality. And you also know. And how Chamisa has been running the show. But at the end of the day, Chamisa is the most popular politician in Zimbabwe. No one can deny that. And I want you guys to agree with me and blue hearts down there. Blue hearts, maybe we can still take our blue as our movement, color movement. Drop blue hearts if you also love Nelson Chamisa. Whether we like it or not, Chamisa is the most popular politician. If Chamisa coughs, everyone stands. If he says something, everyone says, what did he say? Even when he drops verses, people still attack him. But I want you to take a listen to Simba Chikanza. What incredible submissions there before I actually give you my commentary, because I'm telling you, I'll explain to you what it really means based on my understanding, because I've told you that I'm also one of the person who believes in the spirituality more than anything else. So we'll take a listen to Simba Chikanza, please. Very, very strong submissions there that he did on X. Take a listen, please.
Or perhaps the weaknesses of Zanu PF, or is it perhaps the persecution that he has suffered as a political, as an opposition political leader? Or else it is because people in Zanu PF have been talking about him a lot. Is that what makes him popular? From where you're sitting, which of those points, or you might have other points, make him more popular in Zimbabwe at this present moment, even though he has actually, resigned from the Citizen Coalition for Change. Simba?
Oh, thank you very much. Your topic, Hulu, tonight, it seems to address a question that has been hovering in discussions for weeks, and that is the relevance of Nelson Chamisa. People say Chamisa let us down. Chamisa resigned. I had a few people calling me over the last few days, asking me, Simba, why is he quiet? I had even Mukanya calling me the other day and even sending me an audio and saying, look, Chamisa is too quiet. Chamisa is not motivating at all. We need action. We need something happening. Why on earth is he doing this? And why on earth did he resign? Chamisa let us down. And Chamisa seems to be right now the greatest traitor of all time in Zimbabwe, because what he has done does not make sense to a lot of people, and perhaps to most people around. A lot of people are disillusioned. And then comes this word that you have on your title here, popular. Why does he remain popular in Zimbabwe? And Hulu, I have this vision, or this thing that I keep seeing right in front of me whenever I put Chamisa's name there. And this man, without a political party at all that he commands, without a security man, theoretically, right? Without structures, without Harvest House, the building that he used to own or run, without a bank account, the man remains popular. Why? Why? And it comes to me, to the way I see the very thing that people slam Chamisa for. Too many Bible verses. He does not motivate us. I just had 2 hours ago a gentleman who I used to converse quite a lot during the demonstrations that that got job seeker prosecuted and the like and the like. I think people remember from 2020, 21. And so this gentleman was deep. I don't want to mention his name. So he was also saying to me, look, Simba, Chamisa is gone. Sikala Apinda, Sikala is the man right now. He's already taken over the space. Sikala is the virtual opposition leader. Now, in his mind, that is what he sees. He sees Chamisa totally whittled down. I apologize for the noise in the background. I think some police vehicles are just passing by. Okay, so now, what I was saying is that Chamisa is then seen as just and there's also another grouping that says Chamisa was given money. Are you one of those people who say Chamisa got 5 million? I've heard of that, right? I don't know how true that is. Okay. And that's why Chamisa got good. And Chamisa got land, I got people against Nyarara, and Chingora Bojungo Kota my face and shove off.
Very true. Very true.
Shut up, Chamisa. So Chamisa doesn't inspire us. The other time he told us he was yellow, and then he resigns in less than 2 years, he resigns from the same party. And then now we're made to believe that he is now blue. And then later on he pops up in a radio interview and he says he's neither yellow nor blue. So what on earth is Chamisa? And then later on you check on his Facebook portal, he's quoting a Bible verse. He's busy saying, oh, if anyone believes in Jesus. How on earth? I mean, look, Changirai wasn't like that. At least Changirai used to motivate us. Changirai used to get us on the street. And Changirai also used to jump out of Zimbabwe. He could go to Botswana. He would sneak back in. And, you know, Mazwe, I was in fire. But we China, so I would motivate. And yet, there's that word there. You've got there, Hulu. Why is Chamisa popular? Now, I am tempted to replace popular with power, okay? Power. And why am I saying so? I'll drop this stuff here that a lot of Zimbabweans may not have seen. And please, feel free to rubbish anything that I've said here and challenge it. I see Chamisa possessing the greatest bullet on earth. Okay? And this is the bullet that Vladimir Putin has. Right? This is the bullet that America has. US presidents have. This is a bullet that the most powerful countries in the Arab world have. What is that bullet? That bullet is the bullet of religion, or you might call it the Bible, okay? If you're in the Islamic world, you could call it the Quran. Now, this bullet, why do I say it's a bullet? You need to understand. Those who say Chamisa, aperabasa because ana political party, you need to understand, there is no political party in Zimbabwe that has ever taken power. The only thing that has taken power in this country at any time since 1870, whenever, right? Was it 1896, right? It's not a bullet, a real physical bullet that kills. No. It's the Bible. This country is founded on military intelligence that is founded on the Christian religion or the Christian spirituality, distorted or undistorted. The military intelligence yenyika inoi kana mchakuzalirwa military church here ayisi magamba barracks ayisi manyami air base iBible. And it's the same thing with Vladimir Putin, arguably the most powerful person on earth. Okay? What does he? Who is he? He is the leader of the Russian Orthodox Church. Everything that Putin is doing today, whether stupid or wise, even the war in Ukraine, he's using his belief, his spiritual. If you really listen to him, maybe some of you don't listen, don't read Russian, right? These contentions are kuchinja world markets, hondo and the like. They're all based on versions of someone's interpretation of my Bible. Right? America is founded on this same bullet, the Bible. Whether twisted or not twisted, that's the greatest bullet. And that's why even on their money, the money at Zimbabwe, you go to those people who say, Chamisa apirabasa, what. The same US dollar that they're saying, that they're using, right? In a Bible, so, I'm just saying here, could it be that Chamisa is not just popular, but Chamisa, it only put, I talk about food, the greatest bullet on earth. And I know this stuff is crazy, right? And some people say, Simba brain say. But you know what? Some of us, Trombo spend right?
You see, Simba, that is a compelling argument. The role of religion in terms of dictating our political discourse. It could be in the Western world, or it can be even in Africa. We have seen the Apostolic Church going to Dubai. We have seen Wick Neal himself making money, and also associating his making of money with the Bible. In fact, Wick Neal himself claims that there was a prophecy that he must give, and the more he gives, the more he becomes rich. We have seen that. Yeah, we have seen that.
You know what? Those people who keep writing, Chamisa is always quoting Bible verses. Idi goes there and he preaches like better than any other preacher in Zimbabwe. You know?
Yes.
And you know what, Hulu? You know what? Someone also was saying one time that Chamisa will not make it in the presence of great business people on earth. Listen to me. The richest man in Zimbabwe is Strive Masiwa. Do you realize that in Econet Wireless, they have prayer meetings for more than 20 years?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I used to do my own prayer meeting myself in 1998 at Strive's house in Vinona. My own night, Tichinwa Sunjam, Tichinwa Tine Sunjam, ne Margarine, right? And you know, this is the richest man, and you know, and he's someone who you could almost arguably, I know there's some people who criticize him, right? But let's be honest. Yeah. Munu asumza both zita ne business. Whether you agree with his business model or not, but he's tried to go to.
So Simba, in terms then of the argument, because
yes.
Sorry,
coming back to the argument, I apologize.
It's getting a bit late and
I think Chamisa just not just popular, right? Chamisa is powerful, right? And why does he like it? I think Chamisa, in my view, I would call him a military strategist. Contrary to what you folks say, Chamisa anabasa. Chamisa ndiano shandisa ma principles chaiwo. A military intelligence. Agashandisa kutora nyika inoi. Kufira 1896. Ngapedza.
Yeah, I hear you, Simba, in terms of the role.
All right, guys, you heard what Simba Chikanza said regarding the issue of Chamisa. Let me explain to you what the problem is that Zimbabwe has been pressed for too long, to a point where they think it's all about the force all the time and the fights. But it's not every battle that requires fighting. You know, sometimes you fight when you're actually sitting and relaxing, but you're fighting. Especially dealing with the regime like Zanu PF. Zanu PF is already brutal. They love violence. So if they love violence, you counter with peace. That's the only way that you're going to win. If someone likes to fight because they want your energy all the time, then you counter that fight and shouting with quietness, but it's still going to conquer. He's definitely playing from victory. People don't see it, but I can actually see it. In fact, if it wasn't that he is heading for a win, I wouldn't be sitting where I'm sitting right now, because I did not need anyone to bring me here and really believe in his calling and support him. This is not a political issue. This is a freedom issue. There is a difference. We may have times where we need to say, let's have a free and fair election. Yes, but that's not the time. This time is a freedom issue where we are really head-on fighting evil. You know, what you call oppression or dictatorship. I don't like to call it that way. I call it evil. So if you want to fight evil, you counter evil with good. You counter evil with right. Because everything wrong that's going on within our camps today can only be destroyed by good. Or by right, doing the right thing. So Chamisa he looks like he's the most weakest person from those violent political players. They say, oh no, he's weak. No, he's not. He's actually very strong. And you will see how strong he is. This is why Zanu PF cannot sleep. If he was weak, I'm sure Zanu PF could be doing whatever they want. But why can't they even sleeping? Because they know they're dealing with the most strongest man that you guys don't even know. I don't know why people feel like when you're noisy, you're stronger. No, the most powerful and strongest men or women are the ones that are actually quiet most of the times. They don't say much, but they do act. And also remember, there's an issue of timing. Timing is very important because Chamisa has always not been a player that loves blood on the floor. So because he doesn't like blood on the floor, God is going to meet him at the point of his need and give him wisdom and counsel and the right strategy to conquer the wickedness of Zanu PF. So relax. We are in the right direction. We are definitely on the right path and everything's going to give. You'll be shocked what's going to be happening soon. So to my surprise, while I'm minding my business, because like I said to you, it's not only on the other side of other political, supporters like Triple C or whatever movement that is coming for Nelson Chamisa. We also, hardliners for Zanu PF, heavy staunch supporters for Zanu PF are saying it's time to confront ED. I was shocked when I saw that article this afternoon, late afternoon actually. So for those who knows Mutisi, the one that once been given 100,000 by Weakness Chivayo, and it trended on social media when he posted the proof of payment that was transferred into his account because he has been literally the supporter for Zanu PF's nonsense. Over the years, we know him. Who doesn't know Mutisi? He wrote an article that it's time for us to confront ED. He said the young people need to come up. This time, ED will not have to test 2030, and they can't even test the third term. It's not going to happen. Zanu PF people are saying it's every person would think within the Zanu PF parameters have what it takes to actually contest for the position of being the first secretary in Zanu PF and also stand as a presidential candidate in the future elections. Must come up. But by the way, don't also forget that we are not trusting elections as far as Zanu PF is concerned. We've been there before. We are very much aware of being hoodwinked because that happened earlier on. So now I'm going to read the article that he wrote. Very strong article. He said, game on. Time to contest for Zanu PF leadership is now. So that's Mutisi. Zanu PF a staunch supporter, known all over on X. Said as President Emmerson Mnangagwa enters his second and final term, as specified in the Constitution, a historic opportunity emerges for Zanu PF members and ambiguous Zimbabweans in general to challenge for the presidency. With the party's leadership contest wide open to all, now is the perfect time for determined individuals, particularly the youth, to pave way for a new era of leadership, breaking away from the long-standing dominance of a single leader, Robert Mugabe and now Mnangagwa. Zanu PF must embrace a fair and inclusive leadership contest that allows candidates to emerge without favoritism and intimidation. This is the best time for Zimbabweans to seize this critical moment and position themselves for the leadership of both Zanu PF and the nation. Zimbabwe has witnessed challenges throughout its history, yet its people have demonstrated resilience and unwavering commitment to progress. However, Zanu PF leadership has been long monopolized by a select few, hindering the growth of a vibrant and dynamic political environment. By opening up the leadership contest, Zanu PF will rejuvenate itself and ensure the flourishing of democracy within its ranks. As Mnangagwa approaches the end of his tenure, he has a unique opportunity to create a positive and lasting legacy for future leaders. By actively promoting an open and fair leadership contest within Zanu PF, he can shape the trajectory of Zimbabwe's political landscape. Mnangagwa's legacy is not only be measured by his achievements during his presidency, but also by the strength and vibrancy of the party he leaves behind. This is an opportunity for him to demonstrate his commitment to democratic principles and facilitate a smooth transition of power. Youth represents the future of the nation. Their energy, passion, and fresh perspectives can inject new life into politics and drive the country towards a brighter future. Now is the time for ambitious young individuals to step forward engage with the political process and position themselves for leadership roles by actively participating in the Zanu PF leadership context. They can influence the party's direction and contribute to the country's progress. For too long, aspiring leaders within Zanu PF may have felt overshadowed or intimidated by the dominance of a select few. It is imperative that the leadership contest be conducted with transparency, fairness, and inclusivity. The party must ensure that all potential candidates are given an equal opportunity to present their visions, policies, and plans for the future. By fostering an environment of healthy competition, Zanu PF can attract a diverse range of candidates, each bring their unique strength and ideas to the table. The transition of power within Zanu PF in Zimbabwe at large must prioritize unity and stability. It is crucial for party members to unite around the shared goal of progress and development for the nation. Regardless of individual ambitions, a competitive leadership contest should not lead to division or animosity, but rather serve a catalyst for productive discussions and debates. Though it is respectfully engagement and commitment to the greater good, Zanu PF can emerge stronger and more united than ever before. As Mnangagwa embarks on his final term, Zimbabwe stands at a crossroad, offering a unique opportunity for Zanu PF members and the masses in general to contest the presidency. By embracing an open and fair leadership context, Zanu PF can demonstrate its commitment to democratic principles and empower a new generation of leaders. This is a call to all ambitious individuals, particularly the youth, to seize this moment, position themselves for leadership and contribute to the growth and prosperity of Zimbabwe. Together, we can build a future that reflects the aspirations and dreams of all Zimbabweans. Let the challenge begin. Jacob Kudzai Mutisi. So you wrote this article, staunch supporter of Zanu PF, very clear points right there. One thing I'm so grateful of is how we have now been able to come together, notwithstanding political parties that we affiliate ourselves with. Honestly, whether you like it or not, President Emmerson Mnangagwa knows that he's losing the support. How do you know? Look at the way that he is so desperate. You know, I mean, the leadership of Zanu PF, let me put it that way, because it's like, you know, you can see the thing of 2013 leadership. You can see that the third term mantra came out and people bastardized it immediately, and then it's off the table. For now, we don't know. For now, it's off the table. But we also can see the desperation, I mean, for Zanu PF to use Wikino Shiva as their machination to distribute cars. It's desperation, knowing that they are losing support. The infights within the camps, again, also still exposing Zanu PF to be the most weakest party right now as we speak. So I'm very sure that all these articles that are being read by Zanu PF student supporters to say, so that we don't get woodwinked, no 2030, no third term. And we all can see why, because things are not really functioning in the country. You know, I don't need a car to parade in town to tell me that the Zig is working. You know, I don't need that. If we get to a point where you need to advertise like a currency, like you're advertising ice cream, then something is wrong. Did you see them driving in a Rari around? Something is wrong. The country on its own, look at our hospitals. It's an embarrassment, and I've seen people complaining about, Vice VP Chiwenga, that you completely failed the health ministry. Again, it's still going to fall on the shoulder of president. Look at the corruption where it is right now. And I also remember the words of Mrs. Moyo. Remember when she was talking about how much money we are losing yearly, like 1.8 billion is being lost through financial illicit flows. She mentioned a statement and said, guys, this mantra of say 2030 negative shiripo, if corruption continues the way it is right now, 2030 atukushike. You see, everyone can actually see to know there is no way. The pushback is stronger. People are tired. They don't want to hear it anymore. They want freedom. They want peace. Zimbabweans want to restart. Now, talking of Wicknell, again, he never rests. Let me just tell you, something is wrong with him. As a matter of fact, I saw him today driving in a Rari. Let me just drink some water first. I saw Wicknell driving in a Rari. People following him, you could not even drive his Rolls Royce. And I'm sitting on the other side. I said, that's the definition of poverty mentality. You know, in 2024, if you have to drive a car that everyone will come around you like you're in a location, something is wrong. I'm talking about inside the city. People are following you. Yeah, I mean, Johannesburg, God knows my heart, I lie not. I don't even know which cars are coming in this country. Nobody cares. Each and every person is focusing on what they need to do for themselves. Whether you bring an expensive car in here, we don't even care. We just pass you and say hello. We keep moving with our lives. But if you see a nation, the town stands still because someone has brought a car. To me, it shows that our country is broken. That's a sign of brokenness on its own. So we really need to start telling each other the truth. To me, it's the highest definition of poverty mentality. Is you think if you drive your expensive car, people must cheer you or cheer you on. This is one of the reasons why people are corrupt. Because everyone wants to be known as being at the front. It's poverty mentality. And very sad indeed. We should be having Rolls Royce. I don't know how many in Zimbabwe if the country was functioning well. Like South Africa. Nobody cares. I don't know how many there are. Nobody even care anyway. You know, because people are focusing on doing whatever they're doing. But you know, when people are doing nothing, they have to mind other people's business. So it's time for us to actually, destroy that culture. A culture of, I just want to be the only person who people used to look up to, that I seems to be living a better life. I must show my house around. It's poverty mentality. We have to do away with that. For good. For good. Zimbabweans need to afford to buy any car of their choice. Go to the shop and buy. Houses. They should afford to buy a house of their choice. As a matter of fact, we've got so much land in Zimbabwe. You see, Mashingo, we built top class. Every city, be it Rishavani, be it Kwekwe, it's coming. Very soon, it's around the corner. There are so many successful people in Zimbabwe or in the diaspora who can't wait for that door to open and remove Zanu PF. They'll be back. Jobs. Listen to me. The people that are supporting this nonsense, you are literally dragging this struggle. Because you could be having jobs right now. Imagine when Zanu PF is out of this space and we're literally saying, okay, now we are rebuilding. Those with money are going to start. I mean, construction, you name it. Businesses, people will be opening businesses. So please, stop dragging the struggle. Stop it. Anyone who's looking for a job, jobs will be everywhere. Everywhere. Roads. What are you talking about? Industries. Engineering, be it people in like those that are in the electrical space. My journalists, what are you saying? Companies, I'm talking top class. And here you are, following a person who's driving a car in town, delaying the struggle, going around where people are talking about important things like the PVO bills, and you're busy screaming and talk about, if you don't want to hear this, go out of the country. That's poverty mentality. We need to do away with that and really focus on how can we move our country forward. But I'm happy that every person is, especially on social media, you can see that people are sick and tired. Maybe all that shenanigans are happening within the ranks of, like at the ground, on the ground, sorry. But on social media, people can't take it anymore. They're like, no, we want a country that is functioning. We are sick and tired of always being called the Zimbabweans. Look what's happening in South Africa, diaspora vote. Right? Diaspora vote. No one is going to come to rescue us here. We're going to rescue ourselves. Right? We were crying for diaspora vote. Did they care? They didn't care. You saw how ANC was fighting other parties, and the judiciary stood firm and do what was right. We're expecting the same in Zimbabwe. The judiciary to stand firm. This Sengezo Shavangu saga, I'm going to look into it now when we talk about Ngube. So we're going to move on now. Now, guys, talking of Wiki Nochivayo. Wiki Nochivayo, can you please leave Mukanya alone? Can you please leave Mukanya alone? Okay, it's not everybody who is for sale. I told you that there was a conversation that he was having, Wiki Nochivayo, with someone that I know very closely. It was a beautiful young girl. And he was saying, he said to her, go to Central City, get anything that you want in such and such a jewelry store, I'm going to come and pay. But I knew what he was up to. In fact, there was a time she said that she received 2 million rands in her account. And she had to reverse the money, said, I don't want this money in my account. Zimbabwe is a very small country, right? It's a very small country. So please, can you leave Mukanya alone? Mukanya is not for sale. Okay. Because you guys have seen an article that was circulating, apparently people saying that was the news hoax that reported that Mukanya is considering to take the offer from Wicknell. It circulated and people believed it. I even believed in it. I remember saying to people, Mukanya let me down. He disappointed me. I did not expect him to be that kind of person. I know Mukanya is top class, Mukanya. Mukanya is, what are you talking about? I love Mukanya so much, you know. So I was like, he let me down, you know. And no, it wasn't his fault. It was a lie. So Mukanya came out and he set the record straight that please, can you leave me alone? Can you leave me alone? I do not want your money. You know, he said, I do not want your money now. So we can for the last time, leave Mukanya alone. Take a listen, please.
Hello, wicked. Ndini Mukanya kuno mningina. Dati ndikutaurire kuti aiwa hakuna kusvibisa zita rangu kana wicked. Zvauri kuita kana uchiona iwe zviri zvinhu zvakanaka unongoita chinyararise haikona kuinzorwa zita rangu kwetu. Handidi kuti musvibise zita rangu muchitaura zvemanga nezvako. Inini ndikuzive handisati ndambosangana newe. Uri munhu wandinongonzwawo nenews. Asi inini handikuvenge kwetu. Handikuvengere mabasa ako kana anything to do nezvauri kutaura. Aiwa, please siyana nezita rangu. Musatambe nezita rangu kwete. Handidi zvangu kuti ndinvolve nenyaya dzenyu idzi. Kana dziri nyaya dzenyu itirai ikoko kwamuri ikoko, musameshedze zita rangu kwete. Handidi kutukana newe weakness. Uri mwana mudiki kwazvo kwandiri. Ndine makore akawanda ndakuma 78 years nezvi. Saka kuti nditukane nemwana anenge iwewe handidi zvangu. Asi ndiri kukumbirisa kuti weakness dai wasiyana nezita rangu. Usatauri nezita rangu kwete. Ndinonzwa kuti unofarira mumhanzi yangu. Tongogumira ipapo. Usataure zvinhu zvakawanda kwete. Hatiregei kutaura zvakawanda. Musasvibise zita rangu kwete weakness. Ini handidi kutukana newe kwete. And handidi kushore nezvauri kuita. Kana uchiona iwe zvinhu right, that's okay. Handipokane nezvauri kuita ini kwete. Asi ndatisiyana nezita rangu. Handidi kuti mungotaura zita rangu pese pese. I don't want to be involved nenyaya dzenyu idzi. Please, ndapota hangu. Dai mandiregererawo masiyana nezita rangu weakness. Ini handikuzive, ndinongonzwa uchitaurwa zita rako. Handisati ndambosangana newe. Handisati ndambokuona. Saka ngatigumire ipapo weakness wondinyara. Usataure zita rangu kwete. Handidi zvangu kuti ndiwe involved nenyaya dzenyu idzi. Aiwa, siyana eni. Zvandiri ndozvandiri. Saka ndinokumbirisa weakness mwana wamai kuti dai wasiyana nezita rangu. Handidi zvangu. Zvese zvaunonzanzi weakness wons Thomas Mapfumo handidi zvangu zvazi zvakadaro izvi. Handina zvandakakuitira ini, handina zvandakakutanzira kwete weakness. Kana uri munhu uzwisisa mwana wamai, unoda kuti usiyane nezita rangu. Handidi kuti I don't want to be involved nenyaya dzenyu idzi kwete. Siyana neni, tisiyei takadaro. Ndatenda hangu weakness. Bye bye.
This is really sad, honestly. It's sad. I think, all I'm just going to say, I'm going to appeal on behalf of Mapfumo. You can just leave Mapfumo alone. You know, guys, is that how you give? Is that how you give, to keep on begging and lie about innocent people that they want your stuff? How many people in Zimbabwe that are so desperate? We have seen a lot of people who are asking for help to actually get medical attention. Guys, our hospitals, people who don't even have food, some are sleeping, on empty stomachs. And then today you can come and beg someone to give $700,000. I don't understand your giving, and I don't get it. Why Mukanya? Leave Mukanya alone. Just move on and be of a blessing to other people. It's crazy. But talking about the issue of these cars that you have seen, guys, these cars have got a cost to take. They're not just for free. For those who got the car saying, oh, I just got cost for free. No. it's gonna, you have to pay for it, unfortunately. You have to pay for it. Who can explain it better than Kandoro? Shout out to you, man, Kandoro. You're gonna pay for it. It's not for free. Nothing for free in life. There's no free lunch. Everything that you see comes with a cost. You know? Yes, there's no free lunch in this world. So Kandoro, again, you know, he has been very adamant when it comes to this cause. That this cause is definitely Zanu PF that is giving them out first and foremost. But again, I don't want the cause because they have come with a cost. You know, I want to see everyone dancing and no, guys, you still have to pay for it. Take a listen, please.
You know, getting offended, we have to do something. I think that's where the problem lies.
And in the past few weeks or months, we've also seen artists and comics and stuff like that also trying to impress Mbinga so that you get a car. Have you tried to get a car yourself?
I can afford, but I'm not trying to get a car from anyone. The whole reason why I do this is because I believe in my ability. I believe my ability will put me in a position to, I feel like doing that diminishes the whole ethos of why I started doing this to begin with. The ramifications of me getting that car go far beyond me getting that car. The ability to, I would have to check every piece of thing, and that's self-censorship. Because now I have to check whatever I say. Does it offend this Mbinga? Does it offend the party that I can't risk this car getting taken over? Or because of an $8,000 car?
But you know, many artists have argued that this industry is not paid, and then getting an opportunity to get it.
That's not an opportunity. But I don't know what it is, but we can't frame it as an opportunity. Because opportunity, it is not. Opportunity, it is not. It feels more like a trap to me.
Yeah, I know.
Because anything, my mother always taught me, anything that feels too good to be true is definitely too good to be true. We don't know what the catch is. I mean, we can spend this entire hour trying to come up with what the catch is. But I believe when the other shoe drops, it will be there for everyone to see. Because there's absolutely no reason for. I don't believe there's anyone benevolent enough in Zimbabwe to just be handing out cards for the sake of handing out cards. There's nothing like that. We haven't seen it and we won't see it. The other shoe will drop. And then the question will become, was it worth it to begin with? Because as a creative, I think the most important thing is, even if you don't want to speak about everything, right? You need to have the option to speak about everything. Then decide for yourself, oh, I don't want to speak. But the moment you take this car, there's certain topics that are off for you, even from your audience. I think even we're seeing it even with the response from the audience on social media. You know, there's now a disconnect because the people that supported you, in as much as they might have supported different parties, the almost unwritten understanding is that everyone is part of this pool of audience. But now you're probably just left with people that align with that belief. You've alienated everyone who's on the other side of that aisle. So what happens now? You create an echo chamber where you're speaking to one people.
Now, then my follow-up would be, how is it possible? Because I've seen it happening in other jurisdictions where, you know, someone actually can declare their loyalty and support for a certain political movement, certain political party, but they still remain their art and their personality or their choice of support is separated. Is it possible for you as an artist in this country to stand up and say, I support you multi-political party and still be fine?
I think for the most part you can, right? For the most part you can. Theoretically you can. Where Zimbabwe becomes a different jurisdiction, like you put it, is we don't have. The arts, for the most part, is a disposable income business. There's not much disposable income floating around in Zimbabwe for people to say, where, like in America, you have your Taylor Swifts or your Beyoncés openly campaigning for the Democrats or the Republicans or whatever, and everyone is fine. Because the understanding there is it's not really affecting anyone's bottom dollar or bottom line. Like these decisions, it's, but here it's the politics. If somebody in the Arab is in course, it's a bad day for everyone in Zimbabwe. That's how much our politics are with everyone. If somebody says the wrong thing, the rate fluctuates. Somebody says the right thing, it's a good day. That's why it's so difficult for somebody to, like, let's say if our biggest superstars were to come out and say, hey, I'm declaring what, the ramifications go far beyond the music. The ramifications would be far greater than anything, because most of the support that we get as creatives comes from the people who have an extra $10, the people that have an extra $2 to stream and buy data to watch on YouTube. If those people were to now decide, I'm not using my $2 to watch this guy's content because he said he supported Chimoti party, you're done. Because we are not at the stage where people can say $2 is negligible for me. I can still stream his stuff because it doesn't really, I will still buy his music because $10 is nothing to me. For the most part, $10 is all people have. $20 is all, that's their entertainment budget. So we are fighting as artists to get a piece of that $20, get a piece of that $3. If I was to then say, my art or all the nice words are reserved for candidate B, I would be shooting myself in the foot. Where I like to think, where I've always been, is with the people. Trying to talk about the things that they care about, things that I care about. I've been fortunate enough that for the most part, the things that I care about, I would like to think the majority of people care about.
Because you get.
Because I get.
You see, one thing that I've realized about Zimbabwe that people don't take serious is the power that we carry. Do you know, if we could come together and unite, everything will fall into place. But there's some people who think, but just get some trinkets here, then things can work temporarily, though they may, but it's not sustainable for a long time. So how then are you going to build, a destiny by just, waiting for the crumbs that fall on your master's tables? I find that very weird. Do you know, our freedom lies within just coming together and say, this is not who we are, and we are not going to accept you treating us this way. There's no fighting there. Look squarely in the eyes of them and said, hold on, this is not who we are, because let me just tell you, people can only treat us the way we want to be treated. The way we are talking about all this dictatorship, I find out that sometimes we are simply perpetuating wrong in the country. I don't care what you guys are saying. Because remember the army before they wear the camouflage, their brothers and sisters, they have their families that are also hungry. Don't forget that. The Zimbabwean situation is now becoming so deep to a point where the people in the police as well forces, they are also suffering. So you see, but if we don't come together and say, guys, notwithstanding my position at where I work, be it the judiciary, I don't think everyone in the judiciary is corrupt. I don't think everybody in the judiciary is happy with what's going down. So when we come together and say, no, this is not about my job, this is not about your career, but this is about building a Zimbabwe that works for everyone, things will fall into place. We have the power to fix that country. We, the people we have. Not trusting it in any politicians, because there's something that I don't understand here. There's Zanu PF as a political party. There's a government. But there seems to be like we are simply living a life of what Zanu PF wants. But Zanu PF is an independent political party that happens to have the powers to be in the government. But however, there's a disconnect here. When a person is in the government, it's not a government for a political party. It's a government for the Zimbabweans in total, which means we have the power, the people to dictate how they should lead us. But the problem is, why one person is believing and said this is not right, the majority will go behind and say, I think you're okay. Talk about these car issues. They've shown that we are not a principled nation. People are not principled. They believe in getting things for free. You don't ask your questions. What are the repercussions? Or what is it that I need to pay? Because you're not just going to get a car for free. No strange-made person will give you the car. They want something. Did you ask guys, okay, you've given me the car and I thank you. In exchange of what? Can that be in writing in black and white? Do you understand? Can that be in black and white? What you're giving me the car for is just that, oh, but you didn't ask your questions in exchange of what? It's the systems that are completely broken. I do remember, just talking we're talking on X, I think. Then we're talking about the issue of non-disclosure. That if I date a person, you must sign a non-disclosure. And this person was like, no, but people are always going to say it. Then I was like, the mentality is the problem. It's the mentality. It's not about what other people want. It's about what I want for myself. So whether someone is going to talk, then I will take it from there. But it's what I want for me. We need to start becoming a community that knows that we are worthy of a better life. But better life based on what we tolerate and what we don't tolerate. Because if we carry on the way that we are, even if we can get a new leader, we can still be a corrupt society. That does not know that there are rules, there are regulations, there are contracts, there are questions that needs to be asked. Not just accepting everything. In exchange of what? I can only imagine, guys. I'll be terrified. If a person says to me, no, come and take a car, I'm going to have to ask, what is that for? It's a gift. A gift? Okay, maybe it's a gift. Who send you? If it's God, you said Yahweh send me to give you a car. I'm like, okay, if it's Yahweh, he's going to talk to me as well. That's what it does. Let's be a society that respects the rules. It's an issue that Zanu PF studied so well and realized that, majority of people are so dumb. I saw people sing in a car today about the Zig, and I'm sitting on the other side. It's not about singing. It's about having a conversation. If you do not understand why people are condemning this currency, ask your questions. Don't just bastardize. Now we also have other people. You saw when there were a real strong, important debate about the PVO bill. Then noise. I'm asking myself questions. I'm like, what the hell is going on? People are discussing about something that is actually going to affect your future. No, you leave it. You are busy fighting. Zimbabwe, hold on. To go where? So it's really our society that is so broken. And I know that Zanu PF has a hand on it. 99% Zanu PF have a hand on it because they've created a society of fear where people can voice out and talk and communicate. This is why we are creating all these platforms to say, let's engage. Can I tell you, there's quite a number of platforms that I'm seeing now. Be it on X, people are having conversations. As far as every step that Zimbabwe is taking, people are having conversations because we are sick and tired of being abused. It has to stop. Let's have real conversations. That's why I always said, guys, comment respectfully because they read all your comments. They do come here. Some of them are actually here as we speak right now. They're here to hear what you guys think and what I'm going to say and what people are going to say. But here's the thing, brothers. If you're here, you can be called your CIO, which is the only word that we know, a CIO. Let me tell you, brothers, what we want is a Zimbabwe that functions for you and I. Because we have a destiny to fulfill here. It's not about what someone else wants from their homes. It's about what we want as a collective. That's what we are fighting for, having a Zimbabwe that function for everybody. Moving on, we're going to move to some people also again who think they can just wake up and have things for doing nothing. Wash Mengube. Right? But before I move to Wash Mengube, do you even know that even Zimura, they're almost closing now because they're incapacitated? So the Newsworks reported that while the government claims that the economy is currently doing well despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, Zimbabwe Revenue Authority workers have declared incapacitation. The workers represented by the Zimbabwe Revenue and Allied Workers Trade Union say they have been immobilized to continue working due to failure to meet basic needs, including accommodation, transport, food, and school fees, among other critical bills. This exposes the big lie by authorities of a recovering and thriving economy. Zimra is the leading country's tax collector and government depends on it for its political survival. Can you hear that? Zimra. We are simply saying, guys, let's fix the Zimbabwean country so that at least we can have a country that functions. And we can be respected. You know what I mean? Look, my heart bleeds when I see what's going on in South Africa. They are not perfect. They are not, but trust me, their systems are still intact. Their judiciary don't play. ANC tried it didn't work. They tried the same machination that happened between President Emmerson Mnangagwa and Kasukure. Remember that? Zanu PF and Kasukure, you remember? But now we expect Kasukure to come back. Since they are on record right now, they're on record saying that, we want to, people must come and all campaign, within Zanu PF to find the secretary. He must come back. If people want him in Zanu PF, they must vote for him. Let him stand if that's what your country, we want a country where we respect each other, notwithstanding one person's interests. We must all shrink because of one person or a few individuals. It has to stop. It really has to stop for this country to move forward. And we mean it. We mean it. Enough. We are not interested. When the Mpinga mantra, we're not interested with billionaire mantra. We do not care. We have got destiny to fulfill here. So it's not about your billionaire mantra. It doesn't benefit me nothing. Your billionaires has caused us so much pain, so it's not working for me. I'm not interested. I want a Zimbabwe that functions where I can fulfill purpose peacefully. If I want to speak, no thug should follow me. Nobody. I must just walk there in Harare peacefully with my high-heel shoe. You understand? You understand? Freely and still speak truth to power. That's the Zimbabwe that I want. Do you understand? No. It has to stop. It has to stop. We are sick and tired of it. Whatever you guys are doing is not benefiting anybody. You can see Zimura is also struggling. I can't believe it. Now we're going to move on to Mr. Ngube, Washman Ngube. Okay. So Ngube stays as a triple C superior. That's the Daily News. First and foremost, the Daily News writers or editors. I want to say this to you. Don't pass look tang it up. Tabuda build a Zimbabwe on a conscience from what you write, right? Conscience to say, what am I writing? Does this really represent truth and a lie? If there ever been another space that needs reformation, it's actually the issue of the media. Do you know there's a lot of nonsense going down in Zimbabwe that we don't see? Again, I'm waiting for a day where we're going to be doing like Code Blanche. You know Code Blanche? Where real thugs are being exposed and with evidence, because I know anything that's going on within the parameters of government have got evidence. There are people, either 2 or 3 people who sees what's going on, like what happened with the gold mafia. Who knew what was going on at the airport? But there was an expose happening, right? People without knowing. I am saying we need to get to that level of media. We want that made top class. Journalists who do not fear nothing. I'm glad there's improvement. As I'm seeing right now, people are no longer fear to speak truth to power. That's the Zimbabwe that we want. This issue of threatening people is over, brothers. It is over. Nobody's interested. It is flipping over. We want a country that functions. It's that simple. It's not negotiable. We can't negotiate about it, right? Non-negotiable. So Mr. Ngube, Washman Ngube, is the one that is sent to actually collect the political funds, right, that were supposed to be for Citizen Coalition for Change. Remember, you worked in cohorts with Shalangu, so he seems to be the superior within the other faction. No, there's no faction. Okay, there is no faction. Another friendship that they did in cohorts or connive with Zanu PF, and then they got their way to get monies that they don't deserve. Let's start from there. They do not deserve the money. So the reports are he's sent to get the money, apparently. But also bear in mind, it's only 2 days for Washman Ngube's presidency to expire, because according to the reports, they had 30 days, 90 days, so 90 days in power, and then a new leader comes in. The rotation on a rotational basis, which was Washman Ngube, there was Mike Kore, there was also allegations of Tendai, to whom you had said that I'm not part and parcel of that. I know very well that he's going to come back and be together and work together with Chamisa. That is for a fact. I know that's going to happen. And then so now it's Mapfumo as well. So we only left with 2 days for Washman Ngube's presidency to expire. 2 days out of 90 days. We've been following very closely to see what's going on. I also want you guys to tell me what Mnangagwa did for the past 30 days. No, sorry, 90, my bad, 3 months. I've never seen him doing any campaign. I never saw him even having a presser. I never saw him. All that we hear is either we hear it on NRTV. NRTV is a Zanu PF sponsored media. It's known. The owners of that thing are Zanu PF, big wigs. That's why you always hear like small little bits and tips. And also, Site as well. Site hosted him last time when he was saying, oh, I spoke to Shabangu. I said, why are you recalling people? That is Mnangagwa, right? Yeah. So now they are standing to get the money for the political party. For what Chamisa worked so hard and the other guys. These guys think they can come and take that money. Again, a culture of just collecting and taking what you never worked for. That's what we are going to do away with. Whether people like it or not, in the next Zimbabwe that is coming around the corner, we are going to work. No one is going to just get things for doing nothing. We are all going to work. Those that think they can just get things for doing nothing, there will be repercussions. That Zimbabwe is around the corner, yo. It's coming. It's coming soon. Everyone will be working. There's not just getting things for doing nothing. It's over, yo. It's over. So incredible analysis from David Lakwe. He said, well, Doc, here's the answer. Professor Mnangagwa stays put. But of course, this time around, Councillor Mapfumo won't be facing the media to announce this embarrassing development because he will be exposed. To quote BT, it's a dog's breakfast, except one which no dog will touch. That's BT for you. I remember. Yes, I remember. But then again, we always knew this would happen, while its observers should rightfully question the way CCC ran its affairs. Since inception, the truth is the party never had any national standing committee or national council, as purported by Professor Mnangagwa and the Councillor Mapfumo. What Jacob excitedly announced 3 months ago was just a factional scheming, which tragically has no takers. The name dropping didn't produce anticipated dividends. BT conveniently took a sabbatical while his Michael can't find data bundles nor a paper or pen to issue a statement. We know we never had anything from her. I'm talking about Michael, we never had nothing from her. And the fourth one is the elected public representative who strategically ride on this stability to finish off their existing terms and handle whatever comes tomorrow. When it does, Professor Mnangagwa, who pretend to be the leader of no one, while his Councillor Mapfumo issues inconsequential statements. I desperately wish there was a will and a way through which citizens would mobilize and say no in our name. I told you, not in our name. The disrespect is shown to the voters by politicians across political divide is just something else. And I'm telling you facts. That's what I'm telling you. The problem in Zimbabwe is just, it's not even something bigger than what we think. We simply magnifying the problem ourselves by not knowing what we deserve. And sometimes you don't have to say much. You see how Chamisa played the game of moving away from toxicity. That's how you prove to people that I'm not in your league. I am not in your league. The people who if you mess me up, I just walk away. I don't say anything. I don't spend my time on things that don't yield nothing. I want direction. You know what I mean? I want to see results. We need to appoint this time around, we are going to stand firm on what the Constitution says, not what the person says. People have the right to dream anything or to desire anything. We'll stand firm on what the Constitution of Zimbabwe says about presidency, right? It's not about, no. People can sing and dance all they want. That's not a problem. People can clap hands and whatever. That's not an issue. The bottom line is, any president has got to have 2 terms, right? I said 2 terms, you heard me, 2 terms, right? If there happens to be any extension or any amendment, it does not benefit the incompetent. That's what the Constitution says. We talk about the rules we uphold as a nation that we need to respect. It's not like I'm going to think, oh no, I'm assuming, no, maybe, no. It's not about that. It's not about anybody. It's about what's good for the Zimbabweans. Everyone. So if they can be free, if people want to call you out when you, that's their own problem. To call you is their issues there. We're not interested. We are focusing on what the Constitution says. Zimbabweans, we need to start valuing who we are and what we know we deserve. It's not about what someone else wants, it's what we know we deserve. Bear in mind, nobody has title deeds to Zimbabwe. Nobody. Nobody has got title deeds to Zimbabwe to say, hey, Zimbabwe is mine. Nobody. Nobody has. Now there's a story that is trending on social media. Okay, first and foremost, I saw that people wanted to try me, but I just say I don't want to say much. I saw men were coming after me. I know it's a very sad story, but did you guys saw a story that is circulating now that there's a man that actually took his life, and may he so rest in eternal peace. Okay, but this story is it's a very sad story. But I'll tell you what I think about the story. So, according to the Crime Watch Zimbabwe, they're saying that a Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services ZPCS based in Karoi hanged himself yesterday. Reports suggest that the officer took a loan of around $2.5 from his workplace to fund the education of his wife and her younger sister. The officer was now struggling to repay the loan, with most of his salary being used for this purpose. After both women graduated, his wife informed him that he was no longer on her level and revealed that she was seeing someone else. Wow. Okay. I guess that's why people were coming after me, I guess, because... All right, yeah. This was the wife, from what I'm seeing here. Then maybe we need to understand about the foundation. Let me just tell you something. I've told you I'm going to come with a relationship. Now I'm going to start a relationship advice because I realize that majority of people don't have a clue of how women function or how women think. Guys, I'm 41 years old. I think I'm actually the best candidate to teach about relationship, right? Now, I'm not going to get into marriage because I've never married, so I don't want to cross the path. But I'm going to stay within the dating first so that I'm able to help my people. You know... Let me tell you, foundation is very important when you're dating and marry someone. Foundation is so important. I know we are living in the most sexualized era, right? And people, you turn to the left, it's all about, in fact, the social media has become the mini porn site. Social media, being it X, I'm talking about Twitter, used to be known being a mind bank, but it's no longer the same. You see a lot of porn being distributed there. We also look at, TikTok, Facebook, or, even YouTube as well. But you kind of decide what you want to watch. But my point is that because we're living in such a sexualized era, majority of people are focusing on the wrong things. They're rushing too much. They don't spend time on studying the person. Okay. And I know he had a very good heart by taking a loan to pay for his wife and the sister. Quote unquote, another wrong, listen to me, wrong move. And may so rest in peace, but I'm going to be very fair here. First and foremost, you cannot take a loan to pay school fees for a relative. Hello. Just heard me, you heard me very well. You need to remember that each and every person that you see on the street, each and every one of us, we have one father. I see people trying to carry burdens that they don't deserve. And listen, I've made the same mistakes before. So I'm going to tell you what, based on my own mistakes, I'm trying to help you. You can't take a loan to pay school. If he had taken a loan and pay for his wife alone, fair play, I get that. All right, we can deal with that one. I want to talk about the sister of the wife. You're taking a loan to pay the sister of the wife. It's not your responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility. Here's the thing. Let's assume the parents didn't have the capacity to pay for your school fees. Then there will be other means. But I don't think it's wise for a couple married or my husband to take a loan to pay for my sister's education. No, it's not my husband's responsibility, right? It's not. And I won't allow it. I'm going to say no. God will provide. Because if you were not there, what was going to happen? So we talk about a loan, we're not talking about someone who can afford. It's one thing to say, I can afford to fund the education. Fair play. A loan is you're hanging yourself. And considering the Zimbabwean situation, this guy was literally losing all his money every month. So which means the wife have treated him badly. it means if the wife is falling off, the sister is also going to fall off. Because the sister will say, no, go with my sister that actually left you. Why did he sacrifice himself to that much? I don't know. But I'm saying our decisions and foundations are very important. That was a wrong move right there. The wife will understand. And again, also, I don't know how long they've been married because we don't have all the details. But I want you to say this to most men out there and say, you need to understand, I don't know, in a Zimbabwean context is different because people kind of value a lot of education, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we are living in an era where, hear me out, the most successful people are not even graduates. Because life is not surrounded within the parameters of education. There are so many people who go to university for nothing, absolutely nothing. At the end of the day, their education don't yield anything. This is one of the reasons why our country is stuck. Is because we put so much value in the education. Nothing wrong with that. But then we failed to promote skills. And I also believe that before you spend too much money, you need to monitor how your wife does things in terms of, does she work? Does she respect money? Does she understand money? Because remember, there's nothing that will stop me from working, even if I marry someone. You know why? Because I want to work. I've always been someone who wants to work. So there's always going to be ways for a person to make money, notwithstanding being employed, having a degree, or whatever the case may be. There are so many ways to make money in 2024. So I mean, as far as you know your purpose or your skills or your gifts or your talents, you can monetize your gift anytime, any day. And I'm trying to say, you need to take your time to really study the person, like the person you want to date or marry. Take your time. Take your time to study the person. You need to take away all this intimacy out so that it doesn't cloud your judgment. Because majority of you manya kumagumbeza, and then because manya kumagumbeza, it's too late. You know, you don't spend your time to study the person. How they treat you, how they function mentally. Are they consistent in what they say? Can what they say aligns with what they do, their actions? It's your duty to monitor and watch. Step by step. Don't be fooled because people are very good at fooling. I'm telling you. And don't just invest money in people. Study them first. Did they work? Because some of the women you are investing in, they've never worked in their life. In other words, they don't value money the way that you do. But if you're meeting a woman who has worked, this is why I've always said to girls, I do not encourage people to get married before they work. However, if people find themselves in love and they want to be married, I can't stop them. But for me, I always say work, earn a salary, pay bills, make mistakes, fall again, restart. Because when you get married and the man loses his job, you're like, baby, I've been there. I understand. We can come out of this. But if you have never been there, that's when you walk around and say, oh, my husband doesn't make money now. Oh, he's so broke. You know, no, I can't stand it. I need to leave him. I need to find another man with money. It's because you have never worked. So at the back of your mind, you think money just fall from the tree. No, you work for money. Money don't just come. Right? So this story is a very complicated story. And I really said, you know, he had a good intentions, but he wasn't strong to understand. No, you don't just invest your money in people. You first have to study them. By simply watching what they do with their lives first, because then you know they will respect or honor what you have. It's like a man who marries a woman who doesn't understand and he knows that he is very much successful, and he's marrying a woman who has no clue. That woman can be done for because she doesn't understand. Good for him to buy a table, it has to work for it. For her, it's just like, oh, it's a table. Who cares? The chairs can break if they want to, you know, and there are people like that because they've never seen the value of work, buying things, and paying for bills, paying for the rent, buy food. They've never done that. So to them, it's like, oh, I don't care, right? So study people. If you want to marry someone, please take your time and study them. And don't rush kumagumbeza. Musamanya kumagumbeza. Anyway, magumbeza ndenyu atite. But ndikukuzati, don't rush kumagumbeza. Take your time to study someone. Genuinely study. Check the family life. The mother, the father, their behavior. Check, deep check. Your own lifestyle. I see a lot of guys from Zimbabwe. They promote immorality, right? No, if I meet a woman, I must just, we see them smash whatever they said. But at the same time, they said, no, but we want to marry a good woman. I want to ask you a question. Where are you going to get those women? When you are almost every woman you've met, you're playing with. Now, the question I'm going to throw on the floor is that, where the hell are you going to get a good woman to marry? Because remember, you're not the only man. You're many of you, right? You're all using the same women. It's intersection, right? So when you say, I want to marry a good woman, when you have been gracing 20 women on the streets, I'm just saying, we desire good, but our actions don't promote goodness. So if you want a good woman, you better be a good man. Because a good woman can spot from a distance that you're not a good man. Notwithstanding how you look, what you have, where you come from. It's a good woman can spot from a distance that this man is not a good man. Or a good man can spot from a distance this woman is not a good woman. Right? So don't rush. Take your time to study people. Okay. Before you commit, don't invest too much in people that you don't really know. Take your time. Firstly, build. Watch what they do with what they've earned for themselves. And you see, okay, if I invest in this person, I know that something can come out. It's a pity that this man had to go home this way. But in the end, he's in heaven. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And I just pray that there'll be healing in the family. Maybe one day we get to hear what the woman said. But because there's another element that people are not talking about here. Do you know there are people, if they do something to you every day, they talk about it. Like maybe the man was like, you're at school because of me. And honestly, how do you build a relationship like that? I'm just saying, I don't know what was going on there. I'm simply saying, it's we have to look both sides. We don't know the story of the woman yet. We yet to hear. We'll hear more. The bloggers are very good at, squeezing for information and use all this that we all can be informed. I love you so much, guys, and thank you so much for coming through. And I will see you soon. Tomorrow I may be doing the Bible study tomorrow. Yeah, I want us to just have fun. I'm not only having fun, but I also want you to understand that this world that you see, right? There's an invisible world that is in control full time. That everything that happens in Zimbabwe, there is a kingdom that is operating it. So that kingdom is what we need to understand how it operates so we can counter their ways. We need to come out of this. Whether the devil likes or not, we are coming out. I love you so much, guys. You must sleep tight. And again, we're going to be meeting in Zimbabwe. I'm doing this for those that I know people always say to me, you need to play the song. I know, you need to play the song. Okay. But anyway, while you guys having a good rest, and for those that want to sleep, please, if you are still drinking and you have your party, please party more. And make sure that you drive safely. And call Uber. Don't drive for yourself if you're drunk. You understand? Take care of yourself, please. Maybe I need to play Mapfumo. This is the song Kanatika Batana, Maybe. Which one can I play? Okay. I like Mapfumo, man. I do like him. Maybe let's just play him because today it was kind of like my, he was simply like a man that I respect and order. I love his music so much, especially Chimurenga 98. As my favorite so much. I love it. So yeah, guys, you must enjoy it. I love Mokanya, y'all. Oh, man. Don't forget, guys, to like the live, please. Don't forget to like the video. We need more than 100 people, sir. All right, guys. right, guys. Kanatika batana tunokunda namo dzeru. Guys, you must sleep tight, and I love you so much. And goodbye for now. Love each other. Please send some love to each one. Kiss each other, please. God bless you.